Hello friends, welcome to the session on C++ programming language. In this session, we'll be discussing loop structures in C++ programming language. In this session, we will see what we mean by loops in C++, what are the different types of loops in C++, and we will also see some example programming in C++. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Khanale, and subscribe to the channel to see many more videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by loop structure in C++ programming language. We know that whenever we write any program in C++, then the program will consist of many number of statements. And all of these statements in the C++ program are executed sequentially. That is, initially the first statement will be executed, then the second statement will be executed, then the third statement will be executed. And in this way, all the statements in the program are executed one after the other. But many times while doing the programming, it is necessary for us to execute certain code repeatedly. So one statement is executed only once in C++ program, but many times we need to perform some computation or some calculation repeatedly within the program. And in that case, that part of the program is required to be executed many number of times. Now, whenever we want to execute certain part of the program repeatedly within a program, then this can be achieved by making the use of loop structure in C++. There are different types of loop structures that can be used in C++. So the C++ loop structure is not different from that of C. You will find that whatever the loops are available in C, I'll say those are also available in C++. So we have the first loop, and this is very popular loop called as the for loop. Another loop that can be used in C++ is being called as a while. And another or third type of the loop that can be used in C++ is a do while loop. So as shown in the diagram, the loop structure is a structure which is repeatedly executed. And this repetition must be only to certain number of times. So in the loop itself, we need to define how many times we want to execute the loop. So there is some conditional statement, and whenever this conditional statement is true, then the loop is executed. But within the body of the program, you must make some arrangement so that the conditional statement will become false at certain time. And whenever it becomes false, then the loop will be terminated. If the loop is not properly terminated, then there are chances that an infinite loop may get formed. And if the infinite loop is formed, then your program will never be terminated. Now let us go for the first loop structure, and it is a very popular loop structure called as the for loop in C++. The general form or the syntax for the for loop is like this. Initially, you have to write down this keyword for, then in the bracket, you have to mention the initial expression. Then there is a semicolon. Then you have to write the test expression. Then there is a semicolon, and then there is an update expression. And in the curly bracket, you can write down the number of statements, and these number of statements will form the for body loop. So the syntax can be described by using this diagram. Initially, in this for loop, first of all, the initialization expression will be executed. That is, the initial values of the control variable will be set. Then the expression will be tested. If the test expression or the conditional expression is true, then the for body loop will be executed. Then the update expression is updated, and again the control of execution is transferred to the test expression. As far as the value of the test expression is true, again you will find that the for body loop will be executed, and then the update expression will be executed. So this will go on continuously until the test expression becomes false. Whenever the test expression becomes false, then the loop will be terminated and the control of execution will be transferred to the next statement within your C++ program. Say for example, we can write a part of the C++ program for the for loop like this. For suppose our count is the control variable which is equal to 1, its initial value is 1 semicolon, then count is less than or equal to number num, this is our test expression, and then we are incrementing the count by 1. And in the for body loop, suppose we have written only one statement where we are making sum is equal to sum plus count. That is, the count is being added into the sum. Now here, there must be some predefined value for the variable number. Now this loop will be executed as long as the value of the variable count is less than or equal to number. Now whenever the value of the count becomes greater than number, then the loop will be terminated. Another loop that is being very popularly used in C++ is a while loop. The syntax for the while loop is like this: while is a keyword, and then in the bracket we write down the test expression, and then in the curly bracket we mention the number of statements which will constitute the while body loop. The syntax of the while loop can be described by using this diagram. Initially, we will check for the test expression. That is, we will compute the value of the test expression. If it is true, then the number of statements within the body of the loop will be executed, and then the control is again transferred to the test expression. Now this will go on continuously until the value of the test expression becomes false. And whenever the value of the test expression becomes false, then the control will be transferred out of the loop. Now one can easily observe that in the while loop, if the test expression is false in the first attempt itself, then the control will be transferred out of the loop. That is, the body of the loop will not be executed even at once. So for example, we can write a while loop while I less than or equal to 5, and then in the body of the loop, we will write cout I. That is, we are displaying the value of I. And then in the body of the loop, we must make some arrangement so that the value of the test expression will get changed. And therefore here we have used plus I. That is, we are incrementing the value of I. So there must be some initial value of I, and this loop will be executed as long as I is less than or equal to 5. Once the value of I becomes greater than 5, then the loop will be terminated. There is another loop that can be used in C++ programs, and this loop is being called as a do-while loop. The syntax for the do-while loop is like this. Initially, we will write the keyword do, and then in the curly bracket, we will mention the number of statements of the loop called as the body of the loop. And then finally, we will write the while and the test expression. So the syntax for the do-while loop can be described like this. So initially, the body of the loop will be executed without checking any condition. And then we will check for the condition. If the test expression is true, then again the body of the loop will be executed. If the test expression is false, then the loop will be terminated. So one can easily observe that in do-while loop, the body of the loop will be executed at least once. And if the test expression is false in the first attempt itself, then the loop will be terminated. Say for example, we can write a small code. Suppose the initial value of I is equal to 0. Then in the do-while loop, we can mention in the body of the loop cout I and then I++. And then we will put the condition while I less than 5. So one can easily observe that initial value of I will be 0. Then this value will be displayed, and then I will be incremented. Then it is checked with the value 5. If I is less than 5, then the loop will be again executed. So this will go on continuously until the value of I becomes equal to or greater than 5. Now we will go for a small C++ program. We know that whenever we want to execute any C++ program, then we need a compiler. You will find that when you Google for C++ compiler, there are different sites available which will allow you to compile C++ program. They have a text editor window where you can type your C++ program, and they have compile and run button where you can execute your typed program. So this is a simple C++ program. In the first statement, we are including the IO stream, input output stream file using the namespace standard. Then our main function is there, of which the return type is integer. In this example, we have used a for loop where the value of I is 1. Then our test condition is I less than or equal to 5. And then we are incrementing the value of I by plus plus I. And then in the body of the loop, simply we are printing a message, hello world. And then finally, we are returning 0 to the main function. So whenever we type such program in the editor window, and if I run this program, then you can easily observe that I will get the output like this. So one can easily observe that this loop will be executed 5 times, and therefore 5 times this message hello world will be printed on the screen. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by loop structures in C++ programming language. Thank you all for viewing the session.